Alright, so after reading over the instructions for the next part, I realized where I was actually supposed to make the slit here on the sides. It's not going to mess anything up or anything like that, but I told you to make the slits in the middle, but when reading step number 10 and looking at the actual diagram for step 10, it shows you where the cut is supposed to be. But looking here on step 2, it looks like you're supposed to cut the slit in the center, but you are not supposed to cut it in the center. So in step 10 of the directions, you actually, looking at the diagram, you actually need to cut the slit at the last dot. Alright, so I'm just going to do that. Because that's where we're going to have to line up our straps. So I'm at step 10. I cut my slits in the right spot. And this is the back piece. Alright. So you should have cut 1 5/8 of 1 inch webbing. And that's according to your pattern instructions. So what you need to do is you need to cut 2 4-inch pieces from that 1 5/8 piece. So I'm just going to use my mat, and I'm going to cut 2 4-inch pieces. Bring this down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'm going to set the rest aside till later. Right, so you got your 2 4-inch pieces. Now with webbing, this is going to fray, so I'm going to take a lighter and just kind of heat the ends just to stop fraying it. So it will stop fraying. When I do that, I'm going to take my D-rings. Right. So take your D-rings. You're going to place them, and these are extremely big. I just grabbed them because they were black and everything else I'm using is black. But you should definitely have the size D-rings that it tells you that you need. So now you're going to place your strap in your D-ring. The raw edge, you're going to put it in between those 2 circles that you reinforced. And you're going to place it right above the slit that you cut. And not the center slit, but the right slit. Right. I feel like Butterfingers today. Oh, there we go. All right, so you're placing one D-ring in between the 2 dots. on one side and the other one in between the 2 dots on the other side, right above the slit that you made, right at the bottom dot, that slit. All right. When we sew this in place, we'll go ahead and this slit right here, it'll be sewn to the webbing. So that's why I said it doesn't alter the pattern or anything like that, just because we made that slit. I'm just a little annoyed about the pattern instructions. And then again, it could be user error. Who knows? Alright, so you take this to the sewing machine and you baste these in place. Go ahead and grab your webbing again, and step 11, you need to cut a 26-inch strip, and that's for your adjustable strap. So I'm going to measure out 26 inches, and I'm going to cut. Set that aside. And now grab one of your strap pieces. Right, grab one of your strap pieces, and you should have you should have 2 dots marked here. You're going to take one end of the strap and place it between those 2 dots. And you're going to sew, flush it all the way to the end, and you're going to sew across at those 2 dots. All right. Once you sew across at those 2 dots, then what you're going to do, take the other piece, the other strap piece, and place them with right side spacing. And you're going to sew it all the way around and stop at your two dots here at the top. All right. So that 26-inch webbing that you just cut, you're going to take one end, pin it, and sew between the 2 dots there. Take your other strap piece, you're going to place it right side spacing, and you're going to sew all the way around, and you're going to stop. Right, you're going to sew all the way around, but start at one dot, sew all the way around, stop at the other dot. Right, then you turn it. Then you turn it to the right side and you baste across the top. All right. Alright, so you got your D-rings attached to the back. Now you have your strap piece done. Alright, so this is your strap. So take your strap slider, right, this thing here. Yours probably will look different than mine. And you place it on the end, right? So going bottom, across the bar, bottom, across the bar, over the top. Alright, like that. Make sure it's straight. Alright. And we're going to take our swivel clasp and place the strap through. Alright, so it'll look something like that. And now, this always gets me because I don't know quite how to do it. Yeah, this is something I'm gonna have to practice. I think I said that in my tutorial, non-tutorial video, that I have no clue how to do this. Alright, so I have it turned. My strap slider, the wrong side is facing up. So I'm going to take this in and I'm going to push this out a little bit so I'll have some room. I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take this in and go through the top and bring it back through the bottom. So if I can get it in there. There we go. So I got it through the top. And you see it there. I'm going to bring it through the bottom. I know that's hard to see. But there it goes. Oh. Alright, so you fold this over about 1 inch, this little piece here, and then you're going to sew it to this part of the strap. So the part of the strap that's coming over the strap slider, you're not sewing it to that part, you're sewing it to the bottom part there. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, this is something, if I find a video doing this on YouTube, I'll link it in the description box below for a better view, because I have no clue what I just did. Alright, but just remember, you're not sewing it to this top part, you're sewing it to this bottom one. This bottom one right here. Alright, and again, I'll look for a clearer video and put it in the description box below. That's something I have to practice. I am willing to admit that. Alright, so from the strap that you have left over, you're going to cut 2 5-inch pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then cut a second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I am at step number 12. And you're going to take one of those 5-inch pieces and grab your parachute clip. Right, you take one of the 5-inch pieces, grab your parachute clip, unclip it. There we go, you got 2 pieces there. And you are taking, right, so you're taking this piece here, this part of your parachute clip. You have this part and this part. You're taking this part. And you're going to take one of the 5-inch pieces. And you're going to, I'm going to stick it through the bottom. If I can get it. There we go. Stick it through the bottom. And then the bar is here, so, and then put it over the bar. And you're going to bring that down about 1 inch, and you're going to sew across. So I'm going to pin that in place. Now grab your strap. And you should have some markings on your strap that, remember that square that you have marked on your strap here? You're going to take this piece. Now, before you do this part, go sew that in place. I just want to show it to you now. And then you're going to take this free end, fold it over about 1 inch. And you are going to place it in that square, and you're going to sew that square, and make sure that the open piece right here is facing downward, right? Not towards the curve, but the end of the strap. All right, so I'm going to pin that. I'm just pinning it. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew all these pieces together. So I'm going to sew this part together here. I'm going to sew this part together, and then I'm going to sew the square here together. Let me see if I can look ahead really quick, because I have to do something with this other 5-inch piece right here and that part of the parachute clip. Yep, I do. So take the other part of your parachute clip, do the same thing. Take the other 5-inch piece, insert it through the bottom, across the top, over the bar, and then sew that in place. All right, at least we'll have that part done. Right, and once we do all this sewing, so once I finish all the sewing, that'll be the end of this part of the video. And I will meet you back here for part 5. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.